Okay, this is a good Q&A that I've decided to put into my course that I recently produced, titled Train Your Dog to Come When Called. It's a common question. Came in through the Ask Cindy portal on Leerburg.com. I'll make a few comments as I go through and read this, and then we're going to talk about what needs to be done with this young dog. Because the problems are with the handler and not the dog. I was wondering if you could help us with a problem we're having with our 9-month-old German Shepherd. We've put her on a long line and have treats and praise for her when she returns. One problem is, if she knows that there's no line on, she will not come. If she's free, she'll dash off. So we've been keeping the line on. Good for them. Another problem is she's been running out through the front door when I call her. She won't come. She looks at me and stands there and keeps running away, playing keep away. If I go after her, she plays with me. I stop and start to walk away from her, and when she sees the idea that playing is not there, then she'll come. I'm very worried she's going to get hit by a car. She should be worried about that. We have a prong collar, but like the long line, she knows when it's on and when it's off. I have never yelled or disciplined her when she's come back. That's probably good. There's a better way to handle it that I'll talk about in a minute. I really don't know how to handle this situation. We have children running in and out of our house all the time, giving her too many opportunities to run out the front door. What am I doing wrong here? Well, as I said, there's a couple of different levels of problems here. First of all, it's a problem with the kids and the dog and management. You have kids coming in and out of your house all the time. You cannot have a young dog that has free access to the house. I don't care how much you want that. You can't have it. Not with little kids that are not responsible for making sure that that dog doesn't get out the front door. If your kids are too young to do that, that dog needs to be in a dog crate, a dog kennel, in the basement. Just not possible for it to get outside. Number two, if a dog plays getaway, if it gets out and plays getaway, and you don't have a long line on it, then you need to calmly walk to the dog. Don't scream at the dog, don't holler at the dog. You need to calmly walk to the dog, get a hold of it, put the leash on it, and correct the hell out of that dog, all the way back to where you were when you called it and it didn't come. And it needs to have that happen every time. The dog needs to learn, I either come or I get corrected. Every dog can follow that. Every single dog can follow that. They learn. If you do that every single time, that dog's going to come. The recall command is not negotiable. The recall command is the only command that you sincerely have ramifications, serious ramifications for the dog not coming, because the dog's going to run out and get hit by a car. You're not going to sweet talk that dog into coming every single time when there's kids outside and it wants to play keep away. Ain't going to work. You need to put pressure on the dog. In the course that I've built, there's a number of steps to go through before you get to the point of adding pressure. Long lines, prong collars, all of this. I discuss this in the course. I discuss all the different opportunities and types of pressure, but you have to bring the dog along before you get to the point of pressure. That's the last step, but it sounds to me like this person is at the last step. So she has to add pressure. Otherwise, she will never get a consistent recall. Right now, she has a conditional recall. What's that? That's the dog that says, okay, I think I'll come this time. Or it says, no, too much fun over here. I want to go play with the kids. I'm not going this time. That's a conditional recall. If people accept conditional recalls, they're going to have to accept what happens when the dog doesn't come. And I've lived through that when I was 16 years old, when I had a dog. That was a rescue German Shepherd. His name was Prince. And I say this in the course. I think I've said it in past YouTube videos. And I took him for walks every single day, had him trained to hand signals, read every book I could read. Came out of the woods one day, lived in Canada. I'm an American citizen, lived in Canada, went to school there. And my dog took off chasing a cat right out into the road. Wouldn't mind me when I called him, got hit by a car, killed him. That's where I learned there is no such thing as an acceptable conditional recall. Recalls have consequences, serious consequences. And the sooner your dog understands that, the less you're going to have to use them. The sooner your dog understands that, the quicker you can go back and add high-value rewards, games, toys, everything else that can happen when the dog comes back to you and you have your party. But the dog has to learn, God forbid that I say no to not come when he calls me, because heaven and earth are going to come down in my head. And if you have that attitude and your dog understands it, then the dog's going to come and then you can have your little party when he gets there.